Welcome back, Somerset. Thanks again
Hi.
to Michael and Tara Ray for putting all this together on such
Yes.
short notice. And thanks also for all of you who shot some videos that you're all viewing, telling your story, your adoption journeys, and sharing your stories about why you're involved with Sacred Selections. Last segment, we talked a little bit about our presentation that for this is the will of God, that by doing good you may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men. We talked about the way of life for first century Christians and caring for the fatherless. We talked also about what we all do individually becomes who we are known for collectively. And now Dana's going to share some pretty compelling stories about the influence that you all have had over the last several years, influencing and shining a light for good and glorifying our Father in heaven through this work of adoption. So, Dana, take it away.
Well, you know, every year God brings more and more examples of His love to us. And I tell many people it is an honor and a privilege to be on the front line and see God in action. So we thought we would kind of take you with us on this journey, and you could see by emails, texts, and voicemail what response we're getting from the world as to what the power of the light shining from our Christian sacred selections. And of course, the the one statement that's the biggest statement in all, and it's the end game in everything we're doing, is that the children that are being adopted through Christ and being baptized, the number is now 33. Yes, 33 of our children have been baptized. And that's why we do all this. This is the reason for everything that we're doing, that these children can be in Christian homes, be taught God's love, be able to accept that, and be a part of God's family with all of us. Isn't that wonderful? And we rejoice, and please rejoice with us every day. Now, we're going to talk about the adoption professionals that we work with. And the first one on this screen is Robin from Building Arizona Family, is one of the Arizona agencies that we work with. And it's a text exchange between Robin and I where she says, "Hey, Dana, I really need a great Christian family." And I say, "Well, we've got them." And she goes, "I know you have the best." And I say, "Well, God supplies." And, to look at that on the surface, okay, but let's really look at what is going on there. I mean, that's an amazing text exchange between two women, no matter what. But when you put in that context of a child's life hangs because another woman says, "I know you have the best, let's go to you." And that source is, of course, God, and God puts all that in place for us. Amazing. The next one is a screenshot of a voicemail that Barb Casey, who's our lawyer up in the Pennsylvania, New York area, sent me. And she just said, "I just wanted to tell you," and this was around the holiday time, how wonderful your families are. And I've shared so many of your posts because, well, they're just beautiful. And she sees the beauty in our families. She knows what that beauty means, inside and out. And we thank Barb for helping us on many occasions. Now, the next is from a new agency, and also in Arizona. They all seem to be networking and hearing about Sacred Selections families. And it was really cute. She called me one day and she said, "I need a really, really, really great family, Christian family, Dana. And I hear that you have the best. But now," and she kept underscoring how really great. And I said, "Well, we feel that we do. And yes, we do." And she said, "Okay, you've got to help me." And, that was a really interesting situation where two, a community church where both the husband and wife were the preachers, and their daughter had gotten pregnant, and they wanted to make sure that that baby would go to a Christian home. And subsequently, from that adoption, now several children have been adopted through that agency by that one Christian family shining their light and saying, "Yes, Sacred Selections families are what they say they are," and how wonderful a blessing that is. The next one we're going to talk about is, and you'll see, is a picture of a judge and a family who are going through finalization. And finalization is what you do after, certainly the mother signed consents, but it's when you switch over to this is the official legal family. And it's pretty much a formality, except for when the judge starts looking at the money. And the money should be and is very heavily regulated because we don't want anybody buying and selling babies. So as he went down the list, he said to our lawyer, Amy Osborne, who we love, who's helped many of our families there in the Alabama area, he said, I see all of this expenses are covered by Sacred Selections. Who are they? And she said, well, Judge, and he said, I want to see you in my chambers. So she said her heart sunk. My heart sunk with her telling me this story. But what he wanted to know was why? Why? Why is this money coming from Sacred Selections, and where are they getting their money? And Amy said, oh, Judge, I've been to their fundraisers. They're amazing. I once bid $50 on a plate of chocolate chip cookies and thought I was doing really well. And it went way past me. And it went for $500, $600, $700. And he said, really? He said, that's amazing. She said, yes, they're amazing. And he said, well, I'd like to learn more about them and maybe get involved. So how exciting is that for a judge to want to know more about Sacred Selections and be concerned? And we appreciate that. You know, Jeannie Tate, who is one of the most preeminent adoption lawyers in America, she teaches adoption law at the Florida University, and she's been the president of the American Academy of Adoption Attorneys, which are all the adoption attorneys we work with because they're so well known and so honored and respected and moral and legal and ethical. And she will help me. I will text, and David can testify to this, like it'll be in the middle of the night and we've got something going awry in another state that she's not even in, and I'll just text Jeannie and I'll tell her the problem. What do I do? And she'll text me back within a half hour or an hour and say, you need to do this, 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 and this. And she'll never be paid for this. But as her testimony on the screen there, you know, she so believes in Sacred Selections. She wants to help us, and she wants to be a part of what it is we're doing. She's very pro-life as we are, and she's been a wonderful asset to us because sometimes we've been in some situations where it's gotten a little difficult, and I've brought her in, and the lawyers have said, I didn't know you knew Jeannie Tate. I go, yeah, she's one of my best friends. So that's been a wonderful blessing that God has supplied. And then the last one is an attorney in Arizona who is the go-to guy about any Indian adoptions. He's helped us in not only in Arizona, but in Alabama, Texas, all over, and he teaches also adoption law for the Indian nation, which is very tricky at best. And he called me the other day, and I'm going to put on my glasses here to read this because I just crack up. And this is his quote. I was just telling someone the other day about Sacred Selections, and they thought I was making it up. He said, they said, who gives that kind of money to help people adopt? So I just wanted to call and let you know what an honor it is to work with Sacred Selections. And we love your families, and may God bless you for many years to come. Isn't that an amazing thing to hear from a lawyer? You know, they thought I was making it up. So we have wonderful support from the adoption arena. And I want you to know that the reason we have it is because of your prayers, your support of these wonderful families like the Blandford families who stand up and stand in the gap and show the world this is what a Christian family looks and acts like and reacts. And not only that, but they're funded by other Christians who don't even know them. So that, again, is another lesson to the world of how a Christian family reacts. Now, I was watching the videos that Kara and Mike have been posting, and there's a really sweet one. I think it's 17 seconds, and it's little Lucy Blandford, who we helped, who this is the family that you're helping today, and she's singing When You Wish Upon a Star to her daddy. And I love that song. And the last line, you've got to see her face because it's so sweet when she says, your dreams come true. Please help little Lucy's dream of having a little brother or sister come true, and another child in a wonderful Christian home to get to know God. God bless you, and thank you so much, Mike and Tara, for all this work to put this together to help little Blandford baby.
remember, what we all do individually is who we're known for collectively.
Yes.
Thank you so much for all the work that you're doing. God bless you in your donations, and we pray that it'll bear much fruit in His kingdom. Thank you. We'll see you next
We
year.
love you.